name is Rorschach, and I have found something. A few months ago, I have discovered the rapper known as Macdonald, and I admit, I became a fan. Personally, my favorite song of his being the song Famous. I think it really speaks to me on an emotional level. However, I have also discovered people who very much dislike Macdonald, and I am very confused by this. It's not that I don't understand that people don't like his music, like everyone has their own taste. However, they seem to think of him as a terrible person, and I do not know why. So I have decided to figure out why. I have chosen someone to watch their videos of why they don't like Tom Macdonald. Well, the videos are not titled Why I Don't Like Tom Macdonald. They're cringing with Tom Macdonald, so I assume he finds him cringy in some fashion. I am going to watch them. I have not watched them yet. I have not watched this video yet, but I shall watch them and see what his point is. Like, why does he hate Tom Macdonald? Well, hate's a strong word, but I get my points made. Again, I have not watched any of these videos, and I don't know what will happen. Perhaps I will no longer be a fan by the end of this, but we shall see. I have chosen Anthony Fantano. I have chosen him specifically because he is someone who has a lot of credibility in the world of YouTube, especially when it comes to music. And I've actually enjoyed a few of his videos. Like, I enjoyed his mockery of Dog Walker, the Nostalgia Critic, and because the Nostalgia Critic's review and album parodying The Wall, which was... Roll the clip.
Oh yeah, I'm the person you all think you know.
The first one we're gonna check out is simply titled Cringing with Whiteboy.
I feel like there are two cancerous reactions that a white person can have to the history of racism in the West, specifically America. One of those things is white guilt, and the other of those things is a white victim complex. Bonus points to anybody in the comments who can guess what the subject of our cringe today is exhibiting.
Yeah, I'm white, but I never put your neck in no noose, and I never burnt a cross or hit my face with a hood. You can't
He didn't put your neck in no noose.
Okay, so I gather that you are not familiar that there are black people out there who do, in fact, hate white people. They hate them very passionately, and they accuse them of such actions as slavery and bigotry with no evidence besides the fact that they know you are white, and they know that white people in the past have done this. Tom Macdonald is not making a video hating on black people. He is making a video hating on racist black people. Because racist black people are just as evil as racist white people.
My parents brought me up to treat everyone as an equal. I refuse to feel ashamed because of my pretty blue eyes.
I refuse to be ashamed because of my pretty blue eyes. Ah! Who is saying this to you? Who is saying any of this to you? This is such a straw man. Are you telling me that, like, somebody's bullying you? Like, because
Pretty blue eyes.
someone's bullying you because you're white? Who's bullying you? Are you getting pulled over because you're white? Is that what's happening? You should be getting bullied because of your hair. I'll say that much. Or you should be getting bullied because you're way too fucking old to be in this classroom.
Anyone who labels me as that because of my family genetics. The hatred for Caucasians is so pathetic. Go be proud that you're black, but don't hate me for some credit. I'm not the white devil.
Whoa. The hatred for Caucasians. I can't even handle it. I wake up every morning and I just cry at the edge of my bed, and my wife says to me, "What's wrong, honey? What's wrong?" And I said, "The hatred for Caucasians, it's just weighing down on me. Oh, no one likes me 'cause I'm Caucasian. Oh, I read a BuzzFeed article that hurt my feelings. I feel like the kind of people who would feed into this song are the exact types of people who might see black people getting angry online about things like police brutality and so on and so forth and say, just get over it. Just get over it, man. What are you whining about? Just get over it. Meanwhile, in this guy's head, oh, someone said something mean about white people on Twitter. Ooh. Oh, God. Is this really where we're at? Are white people so fucking sensitive that this is what we've been driven to? White boy, white boy, white boy, white boy. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can see it with my white eyes. I get that there are people out there on the internet that don't care much for white people and they voice those opinions pretty strongly, but like, fuck, grow a pair, dude.
I'm left confused. You say that you say, who is bullying you for being white? But then next you say, I know that there are a lot of black people who hate white people. So which is it? Is no one bullying him for being white? Or are there black people who bully white people for being white? Like, I don't understand where you're coming from. I understand this is not a measured response. This is simply a watch and cringe thing, which I still don't see any cringe here. However, you're kind of talking out both sides of your mouth and not realizing that you're saying different things.
Jesus Christ. Like, if that bothers you, welcome to a fucking sliver of what anybody who's ever actually been persecuted has ever had to endure, you pussy.
Also, it doesn't matter if it's not nearly as bad as some of the racism black people have to go through. Being racist is never okay. So him voicing the fact that he does not like it when people are racist against white people is not saying it's worse than being racist against black people. He's just saying it's bad because racism is bad.
If a black man is sipping on some cognac sitting next to me, I don't assume that every black's favorite drink is Hennessy.
Whoa, he doesn't assume every black person's favorite drink is Hennessy. What? It's weird that he's going to all these lengths to explain that he's not racist, but is anybody really wondering whether or not he's racist? I mean, certainly his decision-making abilities come into question because of the hair and the tattoos. But really?
You letting history perpetuate the hatred within, and then you paint me with the brush you painted slave owners with. Yeah. White boy, dark.
Oh. Okay, are there people out there who think you're probably racist because you're white, or think a lot of white people are racist and da-da-da-da-da-da? Sure, but God, no matter where you point on the globe, there's probably some people there who are capable of bigotry and prejudice. That's nothing new. What bothers me about this video is that you feel like your experience is so bad and so special that it required a song. All you've been able to do up until this point is just like complain about things that other people have said to you that might have made you feel uncomfortable. You actually haven't pointed to a legitimate piece of I don't know, discrimination. Nobody is preventing you from living the life you want to live. Nobody's preventing you from coming out with this terrible song.
The thing is, though, he's not asking for legislation. He's asking for people to look upon themselves and to realize that white people are not automatically racist. It's not about actual physical discrimination. It's about trying to change heart and minds. I don't think you need a special amount of discrimination before you're allowed to make a song. I think that if you feel like it's worth making a song, you can make a song. He's making a song about how certain people who feel like white people are all racist towards white people. That's true. Therefore, it can have a song. I don't understand your logic. It's like you have to be certain amount of a victim to complain about being a victim. Like you have to be suicidal before you can complain about depression. That's not how this works. If there is any discrimination, that's worth talking about. If there's any racism, that's worth talking about. I just don't get you.
I refuse to let you blindly hate my wife and my baby, so go ahead and...
Yeah, I promise you that your wife or your baby are never going to be put in a position where they're like segregated out of a classroom or forced to drink out of another water fountain or called a racial slur. I promise you that none of that is ever going to happen. No one's ever going to discriminate against your white wife and your white baby. You will be completely fine.
But Anthony, what about this article from Breitbart?
And again, I feel I must say, it's not about that. It's about how he will protect his family from people who are being mean to him. Or his family, he will protect his family from people who are discriminative in a social aspect. It's not about legislation or any of that. It's about trying to make a better society that is not discriminatory. Isn't that what you are advocating for? You're saying it's bad when people are discriminated against. However, when someone makes a video about how it's bad to discriminate against white people, you're like, oh, well, they're not discriminated against because no one is forcing them to do anything. Well, here's the thing. No one is forcing black people to do anything either as well. At least not this day and age. We do have problems with racism against black people. Don't get me wrong, we do. We should work on that, but we should work on that, and we should also work on making that black people who have racist views, we should try to convince them that white people are not a monolith and not all racist. There are some racist white people, I admit that, but not all of them are racist. Not nearly half, not nearly any quantifiable amount. Very small amount of white people are racist. Very small amount of black people are racist, at least here in America. But we should work on trying to limit the amount of racism in America. Or Canada, because Tom's from Canada, but still, my voice still stands.
It's all that I can offer when I'm wrongly convicted. I would never hate a man for what God gave him in pigments.
He's wrongfully convicted. He's literally being convicted. No! Oh, don't be convicted.
You do realize that conviction is not all just a legal term. There's a social conviction. Like, if someone claimed that you murdered somebody and the court finds you innocent, the public can still convict you as a murderer. It's called a social conviction. I know you know this. I just also know you just don't care. Because I know you're smarter than this.
Got no patience for Nazis, I think they're better off dead. The fighting hatred with hatred, making the hate more intense. I don't want nothing to do with either side of the...
Honestly, I have not run across anybody, at least anybody with any real influence or power over anything, who honestly thinks that the white people, the Nazis, the alt-right who showed up in Charlottesville and so on and so forth is an accurate representation of white people across the board. Sure, are there people on the street who you can find out who have those biases and have those flawed worldviews? Yeah, of course. But like, how is their worldview any more fucking flawed than just about any worldview that you could find from a white person?
Have you not heard of Black Lives Matter? I'm not talking about the hashtag. I'm talking about the organization Black Lives Matter. The organization that has billions of dollars worth of donations on record and has not helped a single black person get into college or do anything to help black people at all. They think white people are racist. And that's why it's impossible to join the organization unless you're black. You cannot be a white person wanting to help Black Lives Matter. You have to be a white person who's donating your time to help Black Lives Matter. You cannot get actually paid to join the organization as a paid member. You have to donate your time or money, preferably money, because they don't actually do anything, so they don't need your time.
Congratulations, you've discovered that people are morons. How does it affect you outside of hurting your feelings to the point where you're just like, white boy, white boy?
So don't blindly attack me for wearing braids on my head. Hate the people who believe you put yourselves in the ghetto.
Is that where it comes from? Because people are like, you're wearing braids on your head, white boy. If in fact that is where it's coming from, I mean, dude, look, at the end of the day, you can do and feel and say whatever the hell you want, despite the fact that it might catch you a little bit of flack because there are other people out there with a difference of opinion. Clearly you're not afraid of that, or else you wouldn't be putting out this song. So if you want to put braids on your head, despite the fact that other people out there might have some feelings about it, then just do it and shut up.
I feel like this song is more than just talking to racist black people and telling them that not all white people are racist. It's also showing white people it's okay to be white. Because there's a lot of white people in America who are taught at a very young age, especially right now, that it's kind of bad to be white. I remember this episode of King of the Hill where everyone was taught that everyone who is slightly different than them hates them because of things that happened in the past. Bobby was Irish, so he must hate this person who was British. Connie was Laotian, so she must hate the white people who discriminated her people. And do you know what happened? Everyone ended up hating each other because they had ideas planted in their heads. Again, this is not a legal issue. This is a social issue. He's teaching people to be better to each other and to not be afraid to be themselves. This isn't about him wearing braids. It's about the guy in the audience who wants to wear braids but is scared to. He's trying to be a role model. It's not just about him. It's about trying to make everyone less afraid and more open.
Being white and being racist aren't the same, man, I promise. No, it's hard.
Nobody's saying that. Nobody honestly thinks that. Nobody who is a reasonable person with any real power in the world thinks that. Jesus Christ.
You keep bringing up power. Who's to say this is for people who have power? Who's to say this is not just for people on the street? Because you know what people on the street do? They talk to people. They have kids. They teach those kids. They teach those kids terrible ideas. And he's trying to stop the terrible ideas from continuing. Why do you think it's all about powerful people? It's about people. I feel like if you just took more than a few seconds to think about this, you would understand. It's not about legislation. It's not about power. It's about influencing the common man. He's an underground rapper. Of course he doesn't care about people in power. He cares about the people on the streets. I'm really just annoyed by this more than anything. You saying cringing at him. I'm cringing at you because you keep fucking just missing the point and just and just ducking every time it's about to hit you in the face.
Who is the target audience for this video? Who are you trying to win over? I love this freeze frame. This fucking dude right here staring at him is just like, again, I have a sneaking suspicion that these people are not actors. They're literally just reacting to how stupid this song is in real time. And they don't even honestly have to put on an act. They're just literally reacting like, man, this dude is really on this shit. He's really saying this shit.
I deserve the chance to show you I'm not part of the problem, and you owe it to yourselves. We got so much in common.
No, I mean, honestly, in a way you kind of are with this song being a part of the problem, because your hurt feelings over some unfair comments that a black person might have said to you are more important and more significant and carry more weight than any actual real life or political injustice that somebody who is another race might be suffering from instead.
You fucking pulled that out, though. You're a fucking ass right there. And none of this song does he say anything that your problems are not a problem because I have hurt feelings or anything like that. He is saying, I am not causing your problems. Do not hate the people who are not causing the problems. Hate the people who are causing the problems. He said just a few seconds ago, hate the people who are hurting you. Do not hate me. I am not hurting you. He just fucking said that. You are fucking missing the point on purpose. I am so fucking angry right now because you are fucking missing the point and ducking every time it's about to hit you in the fucking face. Fuck, this is frustrating.
Hate the people who believe you put yourselves in the ghetto. Hate the ones who teach their children you ain't cause they said so. Hate the ones who think you're all the same and judge you profusely cause the way that you're portrayed on our news and in movies. Being white and being racist aren't the same, man, I promise. No, it's hard to tell the difference if I'm just being honest. I deserve the chance to show you I'm not part of the problem, and you owe it to yourselves. We got so much in common.
And going through your YouTube catalog, I'm not seeing a whole lot in the way of songs about unfairnesses that other people might be suffering that you claim to care so much about, that I swear I'm not the problem. Maybe not in the direct sense, but certainly in the indirect sense by basically forcing this down people's throats by making it all about you.
Hey, Anthony, I'm going to tell you a secret. He doesn't have to be a cheerleader for every single group he may think has a point. If he wants to, he can only make songs about himself. Because, let me give you a little clue. He's himself and not other people. He's allowed to be a little bit selfish. But guess what? Later, he makes a song about how he understands how black people can get a warped perception of white people because of all the bad shit they go through. I know that we have not gotten to that video yet, but it exists, and we will get to that later. He's allowed to make a song about himself and not make a song about other people. He ends up doing it, but he doesn't have to. He can just make songs about himself because guess what? He's himself. Have you ever seen any sort of conscious rapper and ever make a song about, I don't know, the child slaves who make our chocolate in South America? No. They talk about black people issues. Well, most rappers are black. They talk about black people issues because guess what? That's the issues they are worried about. He makes a song about white people issues because guess what? He's white. Those are the issues he's worried about. This is frustrating on so many levels.
And maybe somewhere in this mess of a song and music video, there is a message of unity and understanding, but honestly, it gets lost in
White boy! White boy! You missed it because you weren't paying attention. You were just picking apart every single nitpick you had of the song. I'm fucking done with this. I was gonna do all the videos at once, but this kind of just broke me. I'm gonna do the rest eventually, but fuck it, I'm just fucking done here. Like, favorite, subscribe, all that shit. Oh, one more thing. You die, so live on.
A ton of respect for Tom Macdonald, man.
Everything he said was true.
I like his hair.
His hair is dope. It is dope. Oh man, that's deep. That's deep. He even said it's hard to tell the difference. God, man. You know, I don't know. He actually, everything he said was pretty much like, just listen to it.
That's the difference. I like him. I like him. You know what I mean? I think his point of view is different than most people. How he came across, I think it was cool. It's just like, we understand that, like I said before, we understand what Europeans have done, but you can't think every European feels that way. They just don't. You know what I'm saying? Some of them hate, some of them feel sorry, some of them, if they could do something about it, they would. You know what I'm saying? But we live in a system to where if you try to help the oppressed or the poor, then you basically label as a lover of the poor.
Hello, America. Let me get that presidential election real quick, my nigga, because we need a real nigga like Tom Macdonald in office to always keep it real with all the real Americans, no matter if they're not from here or if they are from here.
Wow. Powerful. What? Man, this is good, man. What's next?
This nigga Tom, he know what's going on, bro.
I think I like that about Tom Macdonald. He speaks on things that a lot of people are scared or afraid to speak on.
We actually don't care him, so if you want to give us a nigga,
You're speaking the truth. I mean, to me, he was speaking the truth.
Like, this song is really, really, really it.
This right here stamped it right here.
Ooh, I don't want to cry. That just did something to me. Oh my god.
The way he come up with these bars, man, he's so articulate and so smart.
My bad. What does it feel like? Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely asking questions for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Feel free to ask them.
I was just gonna ask, what makes you feel like you need to justify that you're not a racist?
I don't feel like I do, and I don't really feel like this song is like. I'm not racist, but it has been said like so many times. I'm Canadian, okay, so the social climate in Canada in terms of like race relations and that type of thing is completely different than it is here in America. And like quite simply put, like I wasn't prepared for that how intense the racial shit is out here. Obviously, like the roots in America runs far deeper than they do in Canada. So it was like pretty eye-opening to come out here, and especially like under Donald Trump's administration and everything that perpetuates, it was pretty like eye-opening for me to experience that. And because the last two songs I released were targeting the content of mumble rap, so like over-sexualization of women, alcohol consumption, Xanax use, overspending, party culture, like that type of thing. And because I targeted that content, I had a lot of people, like my page went from like 1,000 likes to like almost 200,000 likes in the course of like 3 months. So there's hundreds of thousands of comments on these videos, and a small portion of them, but enough for me to like, my phone blows up all day. And I look down at what people are saying on these videos, and a quarter of these hundreds of thousand comments are people saying like, yo, this guy's a fucking racist, he's targeting black rappers, he's a culture vulture, etc., etc.